All right, guys, first episode of Ask Adonis. Our first question's in, and we're going to attempt to answer it as best as we can, and hopefully get some things cleared up. James, can you read out the question, please?
All right, coach. All right, the problem is weak chest muscles, so when the weights get heavier, close to my max, or like, 90% of my max, I tuck my elbows too much and touch the bar too low. The result is in a weak bottom position where I'm too tense to get a good push off the chest. 2 to 5% under my max, I can bench with good speed and relative ease.
All right, so basically, in a nutshell, this person has problems with getting the bar off the chest, gets pinned on the chest as they come down, and they can't get it up. So their question is, or they're speculating that the problem is weak pecs that's causing the problem. It is to a degree, but before you get onto trying to fix the pecs and things like that, there's actually probably a muscle group that you need to look at before. It's very rare that people get pinned right on the chest. I mean, obviously, unless they're going like super heavy, way outside what their capabilities are. But if somebody's getting pinned right on the chest with normal logical weight increases, it's probably because the anterior delts aren't up to the task just yet. And that's probably the first thing that you need to look at getting stronger. The reason is because the requirement of the anterior delts is the very highest at the very bottom of the lift. And depending on your bench setup, the lower the humerus or the upper arm goes past parallel, the more the demands are going to be on the anterior delts. If you're somebody who can set up in the bench in a way that once you're on your chest, the upper arm is parallel to the ground, then the demands on the anterior delt will be much, much less. But some people are flat back, some people don't have the correct setup, maybe the optimal setup, and they can't do that. So just to get it past this point, they need to be able to call on the anterior delt muscles to get the bar moving. So that's the first thing you got to probably look at. The other thing is people who have weak pecs, as you have probably pointed out, they usually what they do is they overcompensate by coming down and over tucking. They get like really low on the chest. They go like way past the sternum. So this is the bottom of the sternum for me. So I'll be touching the bar maybe like there, and the elbows are like over tucked. And what this does is, why they're doing this is because if you were to ask them to come a little bit higher, the demands of the pec are too high and the pecs can't do it. So they prefer to just start lower. But what this does is it puts you in a bad position to then get lift off. And so the pecs could definitely be a weakness in the case like this, where you just get pinned on the chest. The final thing that you need to focus on is, I know it's not a very, I guess like an obvious answer, especially for that position, is the triceps. The triceps has always been shown at any point in the bench press to be highly active, and the heavier the press gets, the more activated the triceps get, the more they are called upon, even at the bottom of the bench press. So if you find that you're getting pinned straight off the chest, assuming you're not like over tucking and going too low and stuff like that, so I can't judge on that because I haven't seen any videos of this person lifting. Assuming you're not doing any of those things in excess, then it could very well be just tricep strength, because you may be somebody like me who tucks in more naturally anyway, and so you're a more tricep heavy bencher. And if this is the case, then you need to just work on improving tricep strength. It worked for me. I generally tuck a lot as I bench, is because I naturally have stronger triceps, so I capitalize on that. And depending on where you are in your training as a lifter, whether you're a beginner or intermediate or advanced, you need to work on different things. I'm assuming you're an intermediate level lifter. If you're an intermediate level lifter and you somewhat tuck, you're a bit of a tricep heavy bencher, then you shouldn't be changing your bench press technique. As long as it's not way out. If your bench press technique is pretty sound, even though you tuck a little bit, you just may be more of a bench press heavy, tricep heavy bench presser. And so in that case, what you need to do is you need to work on developing and getting your triceps as big and as strong as you can initially before you try to move on and work on weaknesses like pecs and things like that. So if I hope that answers some of your questions. That's as much info as I can offer based on not seeing your technique, not knowing what your experience level is with training and things like that. But shoot us a message back if you got any further questions in relation to that. I'm happy to answer them. Keep your questions coming in, guys. We're looking to do them on a regular. Hopefully we can answer as many questions as we can and change your guys' training for the better out there. And make sure you ask your questions either on the Adonis Athletics Facebook page, on our Instagram page, with the hashtag AskAdonis. See you guys next time.